AOC is clearly one of the best leaders in the Democratic Party as of late, and she has been at Republicans' necks in the best way possible. To break this down is contributor Chris Mowrey. We are building a network that is lean, mean, and can push back against MAGA media with you guys. So check this out.
Donald Trump is in a wake of trouble after everything that happened with Iran just in the last 24 hours, with AOC having a great response to Pete Hegseth on Twitter, along with a host of Republicans coming after Trump, seeming to turn their back on him. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene, big conservative commentators who once said, "Make America great again," saying Donald Trump has turned his back on us. What is he doing? So before I get into all of this, once again, my name's Chris Mowrey, filling in for Adam Mockler on the Adam Mockler channel. If you enjoy this type of content, the link to my YouTube channel will be in the description down below. You guys have shown so much love lately, and I appreciate it a lot. On this channel, we're trying to build something big to punch back against what I call MAGA media. A lot of what lost us the 2024 election. Adam and I are trying to lift up Gen Z voices and create something to hit hard in 2026, 2028, and beyond. And like I always say, if you want to be a part of it, all you have to do is click subscribe down below. You guys are the best. All right, before we get into some of AOC's great responses here, let me show you quickly Marjorie Taylor Greene's response on Steve Bannon's show just in the last 24 hours about Trump's decision. Take a listen to this.
You know, I didn't sleep better after neocons and warmongers talked this administration into entering a hot war that Israel started after Netanyahu barely won a vote, Steve, barely won a vote by 2 votes in order to stay in power the day before Israel attacked, an unprovoked attack, Iran. Now, I'm not making apologies for Iran. I have no investment in the terrorist regime of Iran. But the reality is no American slept better after America bombed Iran, because all of a sudden we now have threats on our homeland. We now have warnings from our State Department for Americans overseas. Qatar put out a warning to Americans to shelter in place. Americans in Israel are terrified for their lives, as well as the Israeli people are terrified for their lives because bombs have been falling in Israel. And and Americans all over the world are seriously questioning, is this going to be World War III? So no, I didn't sleep better, regardless of Mark Levin's silly name calling. And I don't think any American is sleeping better after this, Steve.
Wow, that is quite the statement from one of MAGA's most loyal, Marjorie Taylor Greene, seeming to just, push back against Trump, which I don't know that there's ever been a time she's done that. Also tweeting on Twitter saying, I love President Trump, but I have my own opinions. I can form my own opinions, which, again, it's just such a strange thing to say. We're not in a normal time. I wish you would look at that tweet and be like, maybe I'm in a cult if I have to reaffirm that my opinions can be different than the leaders. But whatever. Bad news for Trump on something like this. And then you have, other Republicans essentially trying to run cover, making up the most insane excuses for this escalation. Listen here on CNN to Scott Jennings.
And that we end up seeing a back and forth and war moving forward.
This is not an escalation. This is a de-escalation.
Well, Trump promised escalation.
This is not
Trump promised escalation.
Bunker busting bombs is not an escalation.
Because well, she said President Trump promised us peace. I ask you, can we have peace if Iran has a nuclear weapon?
Well, we had a deal, and
you're litigating the past.
I'm not litigating the past.
Can we have peace if they have a nuclear weapon?
We had a deal. He's trying to get back into that deal. And he withdrew from that.
They were violating
and not only that, now he's trying to have another deal.
Bribery and appeasement.
Up is down, left is right, the sky is green. Escalation is de-escalation. That's the talking point we're running with. It's so blatant at this point. We heard other people on Fox. I recorded a video, and Donald Trump himself saying, I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. People on Fox saying, right after this was announced that we struck Iran, saying, Donald Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. What? For 6 straight months, a year of a campaign trail, it was Donald Trump saying Biden's going to get us into World War III. Biden's so incompetent. If any of this came close to happening under Joe Biden, Republicans would be steaming out of the ears about World War III. And Trump does it, and it's like, we're bringing peace to the region. What? Absolute insanity. So, with all of that said, I bring you to AOC, who had some wonderful responses in relation to this about Pete Hegseth's, quote, no leak praise. The other thing Republicans are doing, like Scott Jennings, is saying, well, Pete Hegseth deserves credit because there were no leaks. It's like, what? Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth received praise, from Donald Trump supporters for not leaking U.S. plans to bomb Iranian nuclear sites ahead of time, prompting ridicule from critics at what they saw as a laughably low bar for congratulations. Newsmax host Todd Starnes was among those who applauded the former Fox News personality who earlier this year was embroiled in the so-called Signalgate scandal after The Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg was accidentally added to a group chat discussing potential strikes in Yemen, which feels like forever ago. This is part of the problem with the 24-hour news cycle. It's like, I kind of forgot the Signal thing happened. It's brutal. So look at this tweet from Todd Starnes that got a lot of love, 45,000 likes. Not a single leak. Well done, Defense Secretary. Wow, the bar is in hell. Representative AOC led the mockery of such applause. Quote, this is like applauding a grown man for being able to wipe their behind, she wrote on Twitter. Not exactly a vote of confidence. Beautifully said. I couldn't have said it better myself. It's like, what are we doing here? These are supposed to be the best and the brightest in the world. And we're applauding them for doing the bare effing minimum. The bare effing minimum. It's comical, frankly. It's comical. And we see stuff like this all the time with this administration, where people want to give, because understandably, Democrats like myself and like you do a great job yelling and screaming at, like, hey, the person in the Oval Office and the people around him are moronic and highly unqualified. Pete Hegseth being, a former Fox News host. And when you yell and yell and yell about that, the response tends to be when they do something very normal, like, oh my God, how could you, hey, what a great job. Give him some credit for no leaks. Like, no leaks. That's like, we're working bare minimum. That's like the first, I would hope, if the U.S. is taking actions around the world, there are no leaks. Or it's like, what are we doing? We have some other funny statements here. Isaac on Twitter. This is such an embarrassing new standard to try to celebrate. Well said. This person, MAGA is seriously out here praising Hegseth for not leaking military plans in advance. Does he get a cookie for a rare moment of competence? Exactly what I'm also saying as well. These people are dumb AF. Alex Cole saying MAGA praising Pete for not leaking war plans again is like giving a toddler a medal for not eating glue. Congratulations, he finally did the bare minimum. This one might be my favorite. Very, very well said. And so again, a lot of these things continuing to fall apart for Trump. You have Representative like AOC just absolutely obliterating Trump and, Secretary Hegseth on these issues of incompetence. You have Republicans joining in, saying like, this is not what we voted for. And lastly, I'll end with this. The Republicans who have come out against this are facing quite a bit of backlash. Now, I haven't seen Trump say anything about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Maybe she's so loyal. She's in the club. She doesn't get pushed back from Trump. I know, obviously, instead of paying attention to the people of North Georgia, which I'm born and raised in Georgia, instead of paying attention to those people, she was running around praising Trump to try to get that VP slot. Unfortunately for her, she didn't get it. But Thomas Massie, who came out against this decision in Iran, saying it was unconstitutional. Representative Thomas Massie, one of the most vocal Republicans pushing against American intervention in Iran, posted on the social platform X that President Trump's bombing of Iranian nuclear sites is unconstitutional. And after this happened, Donald Trump announced that he is investing tons of time to go campaign against Thomas Massie. We hearing reports from within the administration, people saying, like, I hope he enjoys his last term. Trump then calling him a loser on Truth Social, because again, it's an administration full of drama, just children. So Republicans that are going against this, as this embarrassing, administration continues, Trump's waging war. So we'll see what happens with Thomas Massie. And once again, shout out to AOC, because very great calling that out. Like, the bar is in the ground. Listen, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like down below and subscribe. Once again, my name is Chris Mowrey, filling in for Adam Mockler on the Adam Mockler channel. You guys have shown so much love to my YouTube channel, and it truly, truly, truly means the world. Also, once again, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, it would mean a lot, trying to build something big to punch back against MAGA media, and we can't do it without you guys. You guys have been sharing videos, liking videos. We saw some of you, Adam and I were out at the protest in Chicago. Some of you came up to us, You guys are all truly the best, and we appreciate you fighting the fight. It means a lot. All right, I'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe, stay easy. I'll see you in the next video.